Okay, I'd like to welcome Paula Wood and April Kaufman from Iowa State University Extension and Outreach for their presentation entitled Eating Healthy on a Budget. Thank you both so much for being here.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having us as well. So my name's Paula Wood. I am with Iowa State University Extension and Outreach, and I work with our nutrition education programs that are for Iowans with low income. And I'm here today with my colleague April, and she's going to introduce herself in a moment to share with you today about eating healthy on a budget, one of our favorite topics. We know that grocery prices are still really high and everyone's adjusting to those price hikes. And it can just feel very tough stretching your food dollars every day, and also trying to make changes to, eat a little better, stay a little healthier, right? So we're going to talk about these things together today. We have some tips and resources to share with you, and that we hope you can use to feed yourself and your families. And as I said, I'm here with April today. She's one of our community nutrition educators, and I'm going to let April introduce herself to you.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you guys. So I work for Iowa State University also, of course, and I am responsible for teaching the Bite with Healthy program in Louisa and Muscatine counties. The lessons that I help people with they teach you healthy learning behavior changes, preparing and planning meals low cost on a budget. I'm married personally with 2 kids and 2 grandchildren. So I am the primary cook and shopper in my family, and a lot of you probably are. And I also live in a small town that doesn't have any gas stations nearby or grocery stores, so planning ahead is very important to me. So that's kind of the lessons that I like to teach. And it's very inconvenient for me to kind of travel out of my way when I'm getting ready to prepare a meal. So I like to think ahead. And I'll give it back to Paula.
Awesome, great. Well, we're going to start out today. I want to share with you all just a little bit of general information about extension and outreach in case you don't know, and then we'll dig into our topic for the day. I hope that many of you are familiar already with Iowa State University. That's the one over in central Iowa in Ames. Of course, the university, like all 3 of our public universities in Iowa, is focused on educating the next generation. But for extension and outreach, we, although very much a part of the university, have a little bit more of a special focus, and that is on reaching and building a strong Iowa. And we do this by connecting with Iowans all across the state in every county and sharing the research-based information, the support resources from the university to make our families, our farms, and our businesses stronger. Because when all of you are stronger, then we as a state are stronger together. We have a 99 county campus with Iowa State University because we have extension and outreach offices in every county. So this comprises a community-based network that brings to you and all Iowans that research and education and support from Iowa State University. And the network is made possible by partnerships between the federal, state, and county governments. And how do we make all this happen? Of course, it's our people, right? So on our 99 county campus, you will find 1,200 faculty and staff. Some of them are based in Ames, but many of them, like April and I, live and work in particular counties around the state. We also have 900 elected county extension council members, and there are 100 county offices. So one of our counties gets 2 offices. So that's how we get to 100. And we also have staff who are part of our statewide hotlines where Iowans can find answers to physical and mental health, family, home, financial, legal, and other questions. And I'm going to share that information about the hotlines with you right now. And then as we go through the presentation, when I have a moment, I will put a lot of this contact information in the chat for you, or when we get to the end, I'll get it in there with some links or different contact information so that you can catch it if you don't get it right now as we go through the slides. So the first one that I want to share about is our Iowa Concern Hotline. This is a 24/7 confidential free phone number that anyone in Iowa can call. You can text as well. The number up there is on the screen. It's 800-447-1985. And you can call and connect with them for some emotional support, or if you need some direction, some guidance with financial or legal questions, they can help kind of hear that out and get you started in the right direction with some of that. So it's a really good resource that we've had in Iowa for a long time, actually, and they are there to answer your questions. The other hotline that I want to highlight is called Answer Line. Now, Answer Line is focused a little more on kind of home and family questions. So things like, I have this food in my cupboard and it's expired, or maybe it says Best Buy and that was a year ago. And is this something that I still want to eat? I don't know. Answer Line can help you out with a question like that. Maybe you have other cleaning questions in your house, like how to get a stain out of the laundry. They're also really great at answering food preservation questions, like if you do canning or dehydrating, that sort of thing, food safety, all of those kinds of things. They're happy to find out for you. Of course, today we can Google a lot of things and sort of instantly have an answer, but sometimes you might wonder kind of where that information is coming from, or should I really trust this site when they're also maybe trying to sell me a particular product or something like that. And so Answer Line will provide you with an answer that's based on the latest research so that you can take that information and then make the best decision for yourself and your family. Now, Answer Line is not 24/7 like the Iowa Concern Line. You can reach them Monday through Friday, kind of 9 to 4 at that phone number, but you can also email them. And again, I'll put that email in the chat in a bit. And it's really easy. It's just answer@iastate.edu. And if they do not have the answer for you kind of off the top of their heads, they will go research it and get back to you really quickly. So another super good resource for Iowans to have. And as I mentioned, of course, we have county extension offices in all across the state, right? So I just wanted to highlight the address and phone number for the Muscatine County Extension Office, which is here. And of course, you can go Google your county name and extension and outreach, and you should be able to find a local address and local phone number in your county for your extension office. And I'd encourage you to check out their website, find out what educational offerings they have going on in your area, and connect with them. There's all kinds of resources available. Let's see. Okay, one other program that I want to highlight for you before we jump into our eating healthy on a budget topic is a program that is going to be starting. They're having some new sessions starting soon, so I wanted to be sure to share it with you. But this program is called Powerful Tools for Caregivers. And so this program is one where whether you are caring for a loved one at home or maybe that person is in a care facility, they might be near to you, they might be farther away, you probably have a really important role in their life. And this program helps caregivers learn ways to take care of yourself, reduce stress, improve your caregiving confidence, and establish, more of a balance maybe in your life as you care for others. So the class is intended for family caregivers of adults who have chronic conditions or family caregivers of children who might have special health or behavioral needs. And there are workshops starting soon. Like I said, one is going to be in person in DeWitt, Iowa. And there is also going to be an online opportunity to participate in Powerful Tools for Caregivers as well that starts soon. The QR code that you see on the screen there, if you hold your cell phone up to that with the camera open, that is a link to the website for Powerful Tools for Caregivers, along with the registration information and contact information that's there. And I will also put that link in the chat later on here. But it's a really good program as well that Extension offers. All right, so let's get to our topic today about eating healthy on a budget. We all have to eat every day, right? And figure out what we're going to eat. And so I thought we could just start really quick and ask all of you who are out there listening right now to just think about in your own mind. And if you would like to share, what food or meal do you like? So I invite you to unmute and just share with us, or you could put it in the chat as well. What is a food or a meal maybe that you like to have in your life? All right, so I see a tacos answer. Oh my gosh, my daughter would be right there with you. That's like her favorite food, having tacos. Convenience things, yes, anytime it's convenient, or if someone else is making it, that's kind of my favorite food too, right? Potatoes in any form, pizza, spaghetti. I love it. These are great answers, everybody. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I personally also am like, I can't ever pick, but seasonal foods are also really great for me. So right now, like my thing is apples, having really fresh, crisp local apples and all kinds of varieties is something I really like. So yeah, we all have foods and meals that we like, and we eat for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes it's because we need those nutrients, we need some energy, right? And we're hungry, we need to satisfy our hunger. But sometimes those reasons also include cultural reasons, family traditions, religious beliefs. So we've all had experience with food, some very different from others. But the important thing to remember is that food, it plays this really important role in our lives. And if we can make choices, smart choices with the foods we eat, it can help keep us healthy. So we're going to share a few tips and ideas to help you have healthy meals and save money. And for anyone who would maybe like to take a deeper dive into these topics and maybe be able to have a few weeks in their life where they focus on building some better, good habits, then we'll also share a bit about our nutrition programs in the area and how you can participate. All right. So another question for you all. What are some things that you already do to save money on groceries? I know that we all have like great tips probably, so I'd love to hear any of those. So again, unmute or share in the chat. See some things in the chat now. Yeah, so price comparing using Instacart. Yep, there's a lot of apps out there, watching for sales, buying generic. Yep, not always going for the national brands. Hy-Vee apps. Yes, store apps are good. Get coupons that way. Writing a menu. Yeah, these are all really, really excellent ideas. I know you all are pretty savvy at saving money already. So I want to highlight just a few more things in this. But really, we've got like 3 big areas we can focus on to think about, these little places where we can save money. So the first one is planning, which was mentioned, like writing a menu out ahead of time, comparing, and preparing. These are the 3 kind of areas we'll focus on. So yeah, with planning ahead, this is a really big, important one. April mentioned, at the beginning, how she lives in a really small, place, a small community, and it's pretty far to get to the grocery store. And there's not a lot of quick places nearby. So planning ahead is really essential. And we suggest that everybody just try to get in that habit that before you go shopping, spend 15 or 20 minutes planning what you need for the week. I used to think that I needed to plan this big fancy menu and have every single breakfast, lunch, and dinner all planned out. And I'd have this great, 7-day menu that I could put on the fridge and I'd be all organized. And I've learned that I'm just not going to be quite that organized with things, but I do sit down and at least try and plan part of the week out. And so however much planning ahead you can do will be helpful, even if it's not, everything all at once for the whole week. Making that grocery list after you decide what you need is really helpful. Don't forget to take your list and try to stick to your list when you get to the store. And another helpful tip is on your list is also to remember to jot down how much you need of something, especially if you're trying out maybe a new recipe. You get to the store and go, oh, it called for diced tomatoes. And now I'm looking at this and wondering, do I only need 1 can? Do I need 2 cans? So jotting down how much you need of something on that grocery list is helpful, along with checking your cupboards beforehand, right? So that you can realize, oh yeah, I've already stocked up on something. I don't need more of it. And that will also save you a little bit that week when you go. As you're planning ahead, consider all the meals that you're going to need, throughout the week, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and maybe snacks too. And if some of those meals you do away from home, maybe consider, could I take my snack with me instead of maybe stopping at a convenience store and grabbing it? If I planned ahead and bought it at the grocery store, I might save money. And I might also choose a snack that's a little better for me. As you plan, thinking about the foods and beverages, think about getting in all the 5 food groups and trying to, get a variety of nutrients that way, making sure you have, different proteins and different fruits and veggies, some whole grains. How are you getting your calcium? Thinking about that through your week. And then consider meals like soups, salads, stews, and even stir fries, because these can help you stretch expensive items like meat and poultry. I don't know about you, but I've seen poultry prices lately, and they're really, really pricey at times. And so any of those kind of dishes really help you stretch those proteins that can be more expensive if you're doing meat for protein. And you might also consider, some plant-based proteins like beans, adding more of that to some of those dishes to stretch, but still get the protein in the meal. Comparing prices, someone mentioned that as well. And there's a ton of ways to go about doing that these days, and taking advantage of things like coupons and sales. I think the go-to method anymore is to be like a loyalty or rewards member at all of our stores. And that can really work when you, go to particular stores. So look for those. There might be, still coupons out there showing up in your mailbox or in the penny saver or local newspaper, and those all add up. And taking some time in the store even to compare prices on the shelves to ensure you're getting the best price. People mentioned generics, right? Generic or store brand names. There's sometimes a variety of prices that you can look at for the same product. So doing that is really helpful. And I have a tool that I'm going to share with you in a little bit on doing some unit pricing that you can also have in your pocket to use at the grocery store. Also, when you do your grocery shopping, remember, don't go when you're hungry, and try not to go when you're rushed either, because we tend to impulse buy then and put a lot more convenience and snack items into our grocery cart, which increases the grocery bill. So if you can avoid going when you're hungry or rushed, that is really helpful too. And in the preparing part of this, so doing things like cutting up fresh fruits and vegetables for quick snacks ahead of time. And that also helps save you from like finding produce in like your bin in the fridge and it's gone bad and you have to throw it away. That makes me so sad when that happens, because I know it's just like literally throwing money away. So anytime you can reduce that food waste, it's really helpful. And, you know, prepping any of those fresh things ahead helps you save money when you go to cook, and also make sure those things get used up. Reading the nutrition facts label is very helpful on packaging when you buy things, so that you can go easy on foods that have a lot of added sugar or really high in saturated fat or high in sodium. And also preparing meals that can be done in advance. I also, you know, fantasize about doing all this cooking on the weekend and like packaging up all these meals and having it all ready to go. I'm not that organized as well. But I do like to, you know, double recipes or make a big batch of something. Last night, I, you know, made a big batch of soup because I knew like it was going to feel a little cooler today. And so now we have, you know, that can be used for leftovers, or I may freeze part of it if we don't eat it all up, and have it ready to go for another meal. So doing kind of planned overs, we like to say planned leftovers, is a really good way to use up things and, you know, only have to cook once and eat 2 or 3 times. So those are just some of our favorite tips and tricks, and really eating healthier and spending less can be a little bit easier if you follow some of these tips on planning, comparing options to find the best price, and preparing meals that stay within your budget. All right. Oops. Maybe we'll get these to go. Okay, so we are going to jump over and take a really quick tour of this resource that I want to share with you. This is our website. It's called Spend Smart, Eat Smart. So I know that things might get messed up here with my sharing. So let's see if this will work for me and see if it takes us there. Can somebody let me know if that's switched over to the website where it says Spend Smart, Eat Smart, and there's some tabs at the top?
Yep, it is. It's switched.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Courtney. Yep. So yeah, this is the homepage of our website. And usually we have some recipes that scroll across the top here. The banana oatmeal bread is, I think, September's recipe of the month. And it is so, so good. If you need a new banana bread recipe, you might want to try it. All of the recipes that are on our website that we share are developed on campus in Ames. And so they've all been vetted. They meet nutritional requirements, but they're also like easy recipes for everyday Iowans. They're not, you know, full of fancy ingredients or things that you have to go shop at a special store for. It's often, you know, a lot of things that you have at home or that you can really easily get at your local nearest, greatest store. So there are some tabs here at the top, and one of our most popular, of course, is the recipe section, because there's a ton of things in here. And you can just click through on these and find a recipe that you want to try. here we have like, this is kind of some dessert sections. I'll just click on one of these to show you. I hope the screens are clicking or changing along with here. This is a berry crisp recipe. And one thing I love about all of our recipes when you get in here is that they'll tell you the serving size, right? And how many it serves, and then that cost per serving. So if you're using similar ingredients, you can get a handle on what the dish itself might cost you. So if you're looking at, breaking down a food budget and thinking about, oh, I want to try to spend like X number of dollars per day, that cost per serving might be a really helpful tool. All right, so I want to jump back to, so that's our recipe section. And then we're going to jump back here to the plan section. So we have a plan section, and there's some really cool tools in here as well. And one of them that I want to show you is the tracking your food expenses. There's a couple different worksheets in here. There's a menu planner, so you can kind of print out a menu planner for 5 days and plan your breakfast, lunch, and dinner on it. But this is a tracking food expenses worksheet. And this one, let's see if we've got it to come up yet. So this one is a way for you to track throughout a week or maybe a month, keeping track of where and how much you spend on food in lots of different places, not just at the grocery store, but maybe the convenience store, what goes out for school meals, if you go to a restaurant or maybe a coffee shop, or special occasions. And you can kind of look at this, and then it's got some great questions on the side there to ask yourself after you've tracked for a little bit. And that can help you think through, where am I really spending money at on my food? And maybe that's a place where I can, trim back a little bit and make a couple changes here and there. So that's one cool worksheet that we have. And let me jump back here. All right, so we back with our tabs here. I'm going to the shop tab now. Does that look good, April? Are you seeing that? Yeah, okay.
Yes, it looks good.
Okay, so on the shop tab, there are some fun things as well, including some information about unit pricing. And when I get back into the PowerPoint, we're going to watch a quick little video, but we have, there's a companion app that goes with the website, and you can download that. It has a unit price calculator on it that you can use right in the store to compare prices. So that is really cool. But on this sheet here too, it just talks about comparing different prices of things and figuring out that unit price, so you know whether you're actually getting a good deal or not. I know sometimes, we tend to think, oh, when you're buying in bulk, you might be getting a better deal. It's probably less, but not always. So sometimes it's great to compare those prices when you're actually in the store. There's also some great information here about kind of all of the food groups and what's in things aisle by aisle. So in the grain section, you'll see recommendations and just a ton of information in here about grain foods and how to store them, when to discard things. It'll give you links to more information and videos on the website. And then we have the cook tab, which also has some great things on it about organizing your space, food waste. If you want to try and reduce that, it has some good ideas, and just cook at home tips and basics on cooking. And then we also have this produce basics and pantry picks area. I love the produce basics, especially this time of year with lots of like fresh produce coming from gardens. But if you have some vegetable or fruit that you're maybe unfamiliar with, you can find information about it in here. Or, maybe you're familiar with it, but you're just curious about what a little more information. I know that we have, like here, we'll do kale and the collard greens section. So in each one of these, it will go through and give you the nutritional benefits how to select it, like what to look for, how to store it, some cleaning tips, also to help keep it last as long as possible, and some tips on preparing it. And if we've got some recipes that use that ingredient, they'll appear at the bottom and you can go to them. So you could use some kale like in your smoothies. We've got a kale and lentil soup and also a whole grain salad recipe using those greens. So it's just so many things. You can just dig in forever on this. Another section, there's a video section in here that has lots of things about food preparation, easy recipes, etc. But we also have a physical activity section, and we've got videos in here of relatively, short, different types of kind of exercise routines that you can just put on and follow along at home. So you can do all of these like right in your living room without having to go anywhere. If it's cold outside, you don't want to go for a walk, or you can't go for a walk for whatever reason, these might be a really good place to start for doing a little bit more movement in your day. So they're really fun and led by our team on campus that has recorded a variety of these videos. So there's some stretching ones, there's chair workouts, there's a little bit more difficult kind of cardio interval ones, but all kinds of things here to check out. So again, this is our website, Spend Smart, Eat Smart, with all of these, just lots of resources in here. Okay, so I want to jump back. I'm going to go back into our PowerPoint here, and I hope that I have clicked all the right buttons to make this video play. Let me check on my sharing. I think we're good. If the sound does not play, flag me and we'll restart it, okay? So this is about our the unit calculator on the app, and just a little bit about the app that I think is interesting.
We named it Spend Smart, Eat Smart for a reason. We offer nutrition tips and recipes that'll make your taste buds and wallet smile. Use our app's unit price calculator to compare prices between similar products with different sizes, different forms, and different brands, so you can get more for your money at the grocery store. See you later, mental math in the cereal aisle. By finding the cost per ounce or whatever unit of measure, you get the best bang for your buck, and you won't be tricked by sale signs. Just download the Spend Smart, Eat Smart app from the Apple or Android store and go to the unit price calculator on the homepage. Say you're trying to decide between fresh or frozen spinach. Type in the cost of the fresh spinach and the weight or volume of the product, in this case, 10 ounces. Then enter the same info for the bag of frozen on the other side. Ta-da! The cost per unit is automatically calculated and the best deal is determined. Congrats! Your cheesy lasagna just cooked up savings. Speaking of cheese, do you need to know if you should go with chunk or shredded? We've got you covered. Just keep in mind how much food your family eats before going to the register, because sometimes it makes more sense to buy small and avoid waste, even when it costs more per unit. And as appetites change, so do prices. So pull up the app every time you shop, so you can spend smart and eat smart. Why not check us out before you hit the checkout?
All right. So before we move on here, I just want to take a quick pause. And I know I've thrown a lot of information already out there. Does anybody have any questions or just comments they want to share about things they've heard so far? Okay, well, we'll keep moving forward here. And I'm going to turn it over to April now for a little bit. And she's going to talk about the nutrition education programs that she does in the area and how to connect with that.
Thank you, Paula. So we have the free nutrition education program, and it is income eligibility. And then we can do that in person or virtual, and we can do it individually or in groups. So that's the nice thing. And there's 8 free lessons, and it usually runs about an hour and 15 minutes per lesson, and it's just once a week. And then we talk about cooking healthy recipes, the food groups, including more fruits and vegetables to meals maybe that you already make, how to determine if it's a whole grain, which is really important. And we talk about why that is, reading your food labels, food safety. And we talk a lot about the moving more and how to stay active. And we can actually do some of that in class sometimes. And we also, the most important thing is we do in person, we get to cook those meals and we get to try those recipes. So that's really fun and exciting to get to do that. Cooking together and doing that, safe cooking. And then we have the mini goals and supports. And the supports, we give you little incentives. I'm going to show you, we have this. I don't know how well you guys can see this, which you can put on your fridge. Very nice. You get a calendar and you get a cookbook at the end and a graduation certificate. So it's very fun to get those things. We do have cutting boards. I mean, we have a lot of stuff. They actually have the little kitchen tools. We got the little cutting mat, produce brush, measuring cups, spoons, and another magnet. I don't have it right here, but it is that shows you safe temperatures of meat. So it's really nice. Does anybody have any questions for me, I guess, before? Let me read the chat, see if anyone's just downloaded the app. Good.
Yes, it's super easy.
So this is my, sorry, this is my contact information. And once again, this QR code, you could also put your camera up to it with your phone and sign up that way. So I hope that you do.
Thanks, April. Yeah, and April does classes in both Muscatine and Louisa counties. But if you do happen to be in not in Muscatine or Louisa County, and you'd want to do this program in person, you can also just reach out to her, or through that QR code, it asks for what county you're in. We can get you connected with whatever program we're doing in a particular county. So not every county has this program, but we'll try and get you hooked up if this is something that you really would like to do. We'll make sure to connect you in some way. And it might be doing the class online too. So doing it online is definitely an option. You don't have like the cooking in person together with that, but we still give you some resources so that you can try the recipes. And we encourage people to just interact and learn from each other in the group classes. So that's also a lot of fun. And you can also do it one-on-one, like April said, either online or in person. And she's able to offer a lot of like support and help with trying to make some new habits with that as well. So yeah, just let us know if anybody is interested in hearing or learning more about those classes that we have. All right. And I think we're about to the end. Yeah, just any other questions or comments that anyone would like to share? We went through that pretty quickly. And I'm going to put this information that I've shared in the chat. So I'll start doing that now and see if anybody has any other questions. But I do hope you check out our hotlines and the website and the app that goes with it. It's so great that somebody already downloaded it. It's a super wonderful resource to have handy. All right, let me, I'm going to put a couple more things in the chat, and if anybody else has a question, just feel free to unmute or put it in the chat.